Hello, sound check, hello. 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 This is a test. This is a test. This is a test. Test. This is a test. 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 Hello, sound check, hello. 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 Can you guys hear me? Dinig ba ako? Can you guys hear me? Hello, sound check, hello. Hello, sound check, hello. Sound, sound. This is a test. This is a test. Test, test. Loud and clear. Maraming salamat, Maynard. K-pop. Hello din, kapatid. Ano ang pangalan mo? So I can address you properly. Si K-pop. Sige. Kamusta kayo? How are you? Pick one word that best describes your last 24 hours. Isang salita that describes your 24 hours. One word that best describes your 24 hours. Sabi ni Maynard, duguan. Pagod daw, pagod. Okay. One word that describes your last 24 hours. Hello, Rona. Welcome. Kariza, good evening and welcome to tonight's live stream. Yes! Loud and clear. Duguan sa Cream Pro. Sige. One word that best describes you and your last 24 hours. Sabi ni Tita Ems, ubos. Sabi ni Maynard, pagod. Miss Mengulyo, fresh mula sa kalokohan that is grad school. Sis, nilalagnat. Tas may random letters na mahirap basahin. Nilalagnat. Kakalagnat pala yung grad school, ano. Kakaya naman sa'yo kami na mga nasa law school, sariwang-sariwa. Hindi nilalagnat. Sige. Carissa, good evening. Victor Reyes, hello Rona. Good evening, Victor. Elijah, si Iggy says, undigested. Naku. Di ba indigestion, kapatid? Undigested kasi parang dadalawa yan eh. May utang kang 6 na digest sa consti hanggang alas 11 ng gabi. O pakiramdam mo ay ikaw ay nilamon ng isang dinosaur at ngayon hindi ka matunaw-tunaw sa tiyan niya. Victor Reyes says, exhausted. Carlo, landingin says, lupaypay. Nilagnat sa bootcamp. Ha, ha, ha. Siyempre. Dito ba sila? Mga nilalagnat. Papa Ivy na daw ba siya? Sabi ni Maynard. Sige. Let's do shoutouts. Challenged. Sabi ni Jamie. Jemai? Ni Gail. Gail na lang. Alvin De La Rosa. Good evening, kapatid. Thank you for joining us for tonight's live stream. Mabilis ang live stream lang to. Good evening, Chi. Felisa, shout out. Hello, Felisa. Parang first time kaya ta dito. Low moral. Moral here should be spelled with an E. Moral kasi without an E refers to your values. Okay. Hello, Lee. Maraming salamat nandito ka. Tambay ka na naman sa ating live stream. Shoutouts muna syempre sa mga suki natin sa tindahan. Mga Galing sa Mac classes, batch 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Magingay nga kayo, mga galing sa Mac classes. Galing sa Mac classes. Good evening. Shoutouts din syempre sa mga galing sa bootcamp. Sa law school bootcamp happening this week. Naku, today is the second day. Kahapon we discussed, ano ba kahapon? Criminal Law 1, Article 14. Ngayon ang diniscuss natin ay statutory construction. Back to back with constitutional law. Gusto mo yan, Menard? Gusto mo yung mga ganito eh. Yung mga pukpok ng bato sa sariling ulo. Sige. Salamat. Quiz ito mula sa bootcamp. Ang mga i-cover natin ngayon sa ating episode on how to answer law school exams and questions, part 2. Law school exams and quizzes, part 2. Ay quiz ng mga nasa bootcamp. Siguro nandito sila para makinig at malaman kung gaano sila kamali. Hehe. Sige. Alvin De La Rosa says, magandang gabi, sana masarap ang ulam ng prof nila. Nako, parang ang lalim niya na. Kaya mag-alala, di pa ako kumakain. Klase kami ng 6. Tapos kami ng late, beyond 9 o'clock. Yan ako kakain. Gusto niya yan eh. Pero, I would like to say, for the record, hindi masarap ulam namin. Hindi masarap ulam namin ngayon. Sige. Good evening, Lara May. Welcome, Christine. Welcome sa ating live stream. Bigo pero ayaw sumuko. Ang gandang laban yan. Sige. Shoutout syempre sa mga nasa bootcamp. Na kung matawag sa recitation, parang nagsasabay yung constipation at LBM. Hello, GB. Welcome and good evening. Pasa nyo na muna yung quiz. Kasi baka bigla nyong palitan eh. Intercalation. Pasa nyo muna yung quiz. Nandito kayo. Bago natin i-discuss yung mga questions natin. Sige. Sabi ni Miss Masungsong, feeling niya 0 siya sa quiz. Hindi ka pwedeng ma-0 sa quiz basta nagpasa ka. Basta human being ka. Hindi ka pwedeng ma-0. Ang ikaka-0 mo ay yung recitation mo. Sige. Good evening, Moonshine. Salamat, dito ka. Maya na tayo kakain. Discuss muna tayo mabilisan. Ito quiz nila. Ready? Say you're ready. Kung gusto niya nang mag-start. Type ready. Type ready. Para i-flash na natin anong mga pag-uusapan. Okay. For the 4 or 5 people who think they are ready. Here you go. Kita ba? Feel ko ang liit. Paano ba ito lakihan? Lumalaki ba? Feeling ko hindi. Kasi ang awkward panoorin nito kung nasa telepono. Lakihan natin. Sige. Yan. Nababasa na? Okay na ba? Sige. Last week, I think that was, kailan last live stream natin? Friday. Last Friday, we discussed on how to spot issues. Tapos, we tried to answer using the alak method. There is one more method kasi kapatid eh. And that's using the 2-paragraph rule. Mahirap siyang ituro, so I'm not gonna do that tonight. Ang i-cover ko lang tonight is how to answer objective questions. Sige. Wala, kapatid. Sagad na yan eh. Ko alam man ang nangyayari sa OBS ko. Pag nilaparan ko pa kasi hindi na ako makakapagbasa ng mga comments. Teka. Subukan natin. Yan. Lumaki ba? Feeling ko doesn't make sense eh. I really should be bringing a second monitor in. Yan. Sige. Let's look at the first question. Objective to. Walang issue na kailangan i-spot dito. Walang issue na kailangan i-spot dito. What is being asked direct to the point naman? 3 fundamental powers of the state. Thus explain briefly. Teka, nginginig ako Wait lang. Tapos, explain briefly. What are the 3 fundamental powers of the state? Anyone who would like to volunteer? Anyone? 3 fundamental powers of the state. 3 fundamental powers of the state. You have police power, eminent domain, and taxation. Police power, taxation, eminent domain. Police lang. Tapos, taxation, police power, eminent domain. Police power, the power of eminent domain, the power of taxation. Very good. Complete answer from JB. Sige. Police, eminent domain, taxation. Hello, Ryan. Alam, Miss Masungsong, nakalimutan mo pa eminent domain. Tatatlo. Hindi. Pero naitawid mo yung how a will becomes a law ano? Sige. In our last live stream, sabi ko, pag sumasagot tayo, lagi tayong merong legal basis. Always legal basis. Ano ang options natin pagdating sa legal basis? Paki-type nga. No options natin. Ano options natin? Options kapag sa legal basis. Type lang. Meron tayong tatlong options. Tatlong options. Game. Ganyan na ako ng matinong sagot. Let's push the discussion further. Tatlo. Okay, we have law. Law encompasses a broad scope. Law is too vague. Kasi jurisprudence is law. Revenue regulations for tax only are also part of the law. Hindi. And we have a winner. Tita M says, caudal, jurisprudence, tax regulations, revenue regulations. And that only applies kapag sa sa tax, mga RMC. Yan. Sige. Alin kaya sa tatlo ang pwede nating maging legal basis? X na natin yung tax. X na natin yung revenue regulations, parang hindi siya relevant. Choices na lang natin ito. Choices natin ito. Caudal or cases. Alin sa dalawa ang mas tama? Alin sa dalawa ang mas tama? Pili kayo, caudal o cases? Pili tayo ng isa. Alin kaya mas tama dito? Sabi ni Menard, jurisprudence daw. Logroño says cases. Ryan says caudal. Menard says cases. Divina Gracia says caudal. Si IZ says caudal. Okay. Sige. Anyone else with a different answer? Caudal or cases? Caudal or cases? Caudal dahil verbatim. Okay. Sige. Menard, bakit cases? Bakit cases? Hindi pwedeng both. Hindi pwedeng both. Isa lang. Bakit cases? Bakit cases? Hula lang. Cases dahil situational. Okay. Iggy. Atapa nga Iggy Dito may ambag. Sige. Hindi po yan explicit sa provisions ng Consti na sila yung inherent powers of the state. Very good. By their very definition, they are called the three fundamental powers of the state. They are inherent to the Constitution. They are inherent, not to the Constitution but to the state. By the mere existence of the state, meron na sila ng tong tatlong powers na to. It doesn't have to be written in any codal provision, not even the Constitution. Just by being a state, just by existing as an independent nation, kagaya ng Pilipinas, meron ka na nitong tatlong fundamental powers. Yes. You cannot find them in the Civil Code. You cannot find them in the RPC. You will not find them in the NIRC. They are more appropriately found and discussed sa cases. Very good. So, ang correct answer dito ay cases. So, we will begin our answer by saying according to cases. Sige. Ayan. Kapag definition, kapatid, kapag objective yung tanungan, what are the three, parang enumeration, di ba? Tas explain each briefly. Pwede rin tong enumerate and explain briefly the three fundamental powers of the state. Paano ang bungad natin dyan? Paano ang atake natin? Kapag kasi nag-enumerate ka at wala ka naman legal basis, pwedeng lumulutang sa ere yung sagot mo. It has no leg to stand on. And right now, we have chosen the leg of cases kasi they're not found anywhere else. Sige, let's begin our answer. Suggested answer to question number 1. Kita ba? Kita ba? Can you read? Kapag ganito, kapatid, three fundamental powers of the state are no, ang sumagot ka ng enumeration lang ng police power, eminent domain, taxation. No, yun. You have to answer in complete sentences. So dito, according to decided cases, that's the citation we're going with. Kasi mas appropriate na mas appropriate na nakikita natin sila sa kaso to begin with our citation. According to decided cases, the three fundamental powers of the state are police power, the power of eminent domain, and the power of taxation. Next paragraph, skip a line for neatness. Kasi dito, dinidiktik mo na kay prof na, sir, alam ko to. Alam ko. Pero ipapaliwanag ko yan para sa'yo. Police power is the power of the state to regulate liberty and property for the promotion of the general welfare. Sige. The power of eminent domain is the power of the state to forcibly acquire. Keywords and phrases lang ang chinechekan dito. Keyword dito, general welfare. Liberty and property. Sige. Tapos ito, forcibly acquire private property upon payment of just compensation for some intended public use. Keywords and phrases na hinahanap dito. The power of taxation refers to the power of the state to demand from members of their society their proportionate share or contribution in the maintenance. Proportionate share. Another keyword. Government. Sige. Let's discuss this answer. Sandali lang ha. Tawid lang muna tayo sa constitutional law. Kapag objective yung tanong at enumerate and explain briefly, shoot na tayo dito. Sige. Bakit kaya pagdating sa police power, importante ang liberty and property? Bakit mahalaga itong liberty and property? Anyone who would like to guess? Liberty and property. Nako, wala na. Na-DC na ba tayo? Na bang nanonood? Bakit kailangan liberty and property? Wala. Wala. Bakit liberty and property? Bakit kaya diba nagtitake ng consti dito? Oligario, you answer. Bakit liberty and property? Bakit ito hinahanap ng mga prof dito? Liberty and property. Sige. Unique kasi, kapatid, ang police power. Sa tatlong yan, ang pwede lang sumalag. Sa tatlong yan, lahat sila pwedeng sumalag ng property. Sa taxation, portion ng ating mga mumunting sahod ang kinukurutan ng gobyerno. Sa eminent domain, private property ang kinukuha. Pero sa police power, pwedeng property na kukumpiskahin, pero pwede rin ang liberty. Sa tatlong yan, ang police power lang sumasalag ng liberty. Sige. I hope I'm clear. Ayan. Thank you, Lee. Belated answer. Hindi ko alam kung tinype mo lang yung sinabi ko o legit na sagot mo to, nahahuli ka lang. Sige. I hope I'm clear. Please type clear kung clear pa. Please type clear kung clear pa. Maka-clear ka, JB, parang nakikinig ka. Sige. May life, liberty, and property. Natangay na. Wala, nagkahalo-halo na. Sige. Sa eminent domain, pinaka-importanting titignan dito, private property. Private property. Sige. Pwede ba lupa? Pwede bang kunin ng gobyerno ang lupa upon payment of just compensation? Pwede bang kunin ng lupa? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Lupa. Yes, no, maybe. Yes. Private property. Pasok ang lupa sa private property. The only requirement is that there be just compensation and that the taking is for some intended public use. Very good. Yes, ang sagot dyan. Paano ang private property? Paano kung personal property? Personal property. Personal property. Can personal property be the subject of expropriation? Yes, no, maybe. Personal property, ha? Personal property. Kunwari ay si 100 years from now, si Maynard ay naging bayani. Kunwari, the first Filipino in outer space. Kunwari, si Mr. Putungan. First Filipino astronaut. Yung si Mr. Putungan. Pwede bang kumpiskahin ng LGU ng... saan ka ba ngayon, bro? Kalamba. Pwede bang kunin ng LGU yung mga sapatos na sinuot niya sa outer space para ilagay sa museum? Bali, itong mga sapatos na ni Maynard na sinuot niya nung pumunta siya sa outer space ay mga nasa apu-apuhan na niya. May mga apu-apuhan na si Maynard, all surnamed Putungan. Sasabihin sa kanila ng LGU ng Laguna, amin na po ang bota ng inyong ninuno. Ilalagay namin sa museo. Kasi ho siya ay ating bayani na, ilalagay siya sa pera. Bilang first Filipino astronaut. Bali ang mukha niya ang ilalagay sa 20,000 peso bill. Pwede ba private property kukunin yung botas niya? Tayo natin sumagot yung kukunan ng botas. Payag ka ba, Maynard? Tayo natin sumagot si Maynard. Kukunin yung botas mo, bro. 100 years from now, bilang the first Filipino astronaut, ilalagay ka sa pera sa 20,000 bill. Payag ka? Yan. So, ano na final answer natin? Pasok ba ang ang personal property sa just compensation? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Payag naman daw si Maynard eh. Lalagay sa museo. Good evening, Mr. Canoso. We're discussing whether or not personal property can be the subject of expropriation. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Personal property, ha? Botas niya bilang first Filipino astronaut. Correct answer is yes. Because the law does not distinguish. Sinabi lang ng batas, private property upon payment of just compensation for some intended public use. Naku, spoilers na to para sa mga magbo-bootcamp. Hindi ko na to matatanong sa kanila sa klase. Kung pwedeng maging subject. Actually, there is one case nito eh. There is one case nito. Nagamit siya, naitanong siya sa midterms namin noon. Sige. Correct answer is yes, kasi the law does not distinguish. O let's look at the third, last power. Bakit sa taxation sinasabing members of society? Their proportionate share. Kung sa definition natin, linagay natin, the power of taxation refers to the power of the state. Sana si Miss Bidel, nagpadala na ba? Para makaaral tayo ng mga sample na sagot. Para makakita tayo ng tama o maling sagot. Paano kung sinabi sa sagot, the power of taxation refers to the power of the state to demand from the citizens, from its citizens, their proportionate share. Kapag citizens ang kinover ng power of taxation, is that correct? Yes, no, maybe. Pag sinabing the power of taxation refers to the power of the state to demand from its citizens their proportionate share or contribution in the maintenance of the government. Pag sinabing citizens, tama pa ba? Yes, no, maybe. Pag sinabing citizens, yes, no, maybe. Very good, Mr. Canoso. Pag sinabi kasing citizens dito, aliens who are working, resident aliens who are working and earning their income in the Philippines will not be covered. Kaya ang safer na sagot dito, members of society. Very good. Sana wala akong makitang ganitong sagot sa quiz, ha? Mamaya. Sige. To keywords dyan, ha? Liberty and property, tapos members of society. Sige. Okay. Clear na? Clear ba? Itong tatlo. Clear? Please type clear. Please type clear. Please type clear. Kung okay pa sa inyo. Yes. Kanoso na ko. Ongoing ang law school bootcamp. Day 2 ngayon. Statutory construction. Back to back. With constitutional law 2. Kaya ito topic. Sige, if it's clear, let's move on to the next question. To, how are the three powers distinguished from each other? How are the three powers distinguished from each other? Umpog ulo, stat con and cons. Hindi naman. I felt it was fair. To be honest. Parang consti at consti ang aral. Wala namang mahirap doon. Sige. Kapag may distinction, kapatid, when you're being asked to write distinctions, ang best bet mo dito is to come up with categories. Best bet mo dito is to write categories. Kaya love na love ko yung book ni ni Dinriano. Kasi bago siya maglatag ng distinction, lalagay muna niya yung category. Sa anong aspeto mo sila pinaghahambing. Pili tayo ngayon ng categories. Sige. Bigay nga tayong categories nito. Ng 3 fundamental powers. To ha? Para for the benefit of everyone. Ito to. Pwede ba tayong gumawa ng category ng kanilang scope? Siyempre, yes ang sagot natin. Kasi ito lang ang may liberty and property. Purpose. Sounds good. Purpose. Yan ang ambag ni Eva May. Tapos, as to property. Property taken. Parang magandang laban din to. Ano pa? Compensation. Very good. Gusto ko to. Saan ko siya susulat? Dito. Compensation. Magandang category yan. Pasensya na kung pangit ng sulat ko ngayon. Compensation. Magandang laban to. Who exercises the power? Pwede. Department that can implement. Pwede rin. Sige. Ano pa? Authority. Pwede. Who can exercise police power? Saan galing ang police power? National ba or local government units? Okay. Persons affected. Parang global naman to. Police power affects private citizens. Exercise. Pwede to. Pero pwedeng pagsamahin na tong authority tsaka tong exercise. Baka pwedeng pag-isahin na lang natin to. Limitation, pwede rin. Okay. Let's try our answer. Let's go back to the question muna. How are the three powers distinguished from each other? Goal natin is to come up with categories first before we answer. Categories natin: scope, purpose, property, compensation, authority, or exercise. Here's the suggested answer. Yes! To, bungad natin, always begin with this. As to scope, police power covers both liberty and property rights. The power of eminent domain and taxation cover only property rights. Next, as to exercise, police power and the power of taxation belong only to the government. The power of eminent domain, on the other hand, may also be exercised by some private entities. Pwede ba to? Pwede ba ang private entity mag-exercise ng eminent domain? Pwede ba to? Kunwari si Kanuso gusto niyang bilhin yung lupa ng kapitbahay niya. I hereby expropriate my kapitbahay. Pwede. Kanuso is a private person. Can he expropriate his neighbor's land? Kanuso, ha? Kanuso is a very brilliant second-year student who wants to expropriate the property of his neighbor. Can he do that? He's a private person. Pwede ba to? Pwede niyang bilhin yung lupa ng kapitbahay niya. Pero, not because of eminent domain, but through some other provision of the law. Private entities, you are correct. Should to. So long as they perform some public function. Telecoms. Pwede silang, kung yan ang appropriate na tayuan ng cell site, why not? Meralco, yan. Can I say brands here? Sige. As to property taken, sige. Kunwari tatayuan ng expressway, yung portion ng property. Yan. As to property taken in police power, the property taken or confiscated is noxious and should be destroyed. No, kaya yung mga bagay-bagay, in your experience sa constitutional law, ang mga pwedeng kumpiskahin, pwedeng tanggalin, sirain, under police power. Okay, let's look at examples. Good evening, Ashley. Good evening, other Ashley. Illegal drugs, very good. Pirated na CD, of course. They have to make a big show out of this. Kailangan hampasin, sira-sirain, palu-paluin ng maso. Physically destroy pirated CDs. Yung iba nga sinusunog pa. Di ba napaka-anti-environment? Plastic nga to, tas susunugin nyo. Ayos. Pero, A large and powerful magnet would have done the same thing. Yes, GB? Mga inangkat sa Pinas na luxury cars na hindi nagbayad ng tax, dagger in the heart. Smuggled sports cars, yes. Sayang no kung ipa-parts out na lang. Examples pa. You have illegal drugs, mga kontrabando, oche. How about firearms? Loose firearms or those illegally manufactured firearms, should they be destroyed? Loose firearms, should they be destroyed or should they be given to our armed forces? Sige. Dito, makiko-compare natin. In police power, the property taken or confiscated should be destroyed. Under taxation and eminent domain, what is taken is intended for some public use. Nabuwibisan tayo buwan-buwan para for the maintenance of government use. And is therefore wholesome. Actually, ito tumatak sa akin to eh. Kay Justice Cruz ko galing to. Cute-cute pakinggan nito. And it's therefore wholesome. Kasi i-compare mo nga naman, ito pornography to eh. Sinisira dito pornographic materials. Sige. Taxes are the lifeblood. Very good, Menard. Mukhang ready na to na sa bootcamp law student edition. Wholesome. Ko-compare to. Tumatak sa akin tong wholesome na to kasi ang lagi kong naaalala kapag confiscation ay yung mga pornographic materials na they make a big show out of it. May grandstanding na nangyayari na hinahampas-hampas yung mga CD. Kasi yung iba sinusunog. Sige. Pornographic materials yung mga yon. For the minors who are going to watch this on replay, huwag nang magtanong. Okay. Okay. Okay, we have your final category. As to compensation. Ano balik sa'yo? Ano balik sa'yo? No, balik sa'yo. Good vibes! Tama! Tama! The feeling of altruism or of having contributed to the general welfare. Yes. If under the police power, your local government requires that you wear a face mask when going outside of your residences, then it gives you that good vibes, that feeling of kahit papano may ambag ka in the fight against COVID-19. Yan na lang ambag mo eh. Mainitan kang konti around your mouth and nose. Magfag sandali ang iyong salamin. Kumati ng konti yung likod ng tenga mo dahil sa pagmamask. Yan ang ambag mo in the general welfare or in the fight against COVID-19. Sige. In taxation naman, the compensation comes in the protection we get from government. Social services, in eminent domain, the compensation, very specific, fair equivalent of the property. This is just compensation. Haba ang formula nito. Just compensation. Okay. Clear ba? Clear so far? Yes, no, maybe. Please type yes, no, maybe kung clear. GB trolling tonight's chat box. Sige. Kaya na tayo dyan, ha? You will notice dito, wala na ako nilagay na citation. No citation. Why? Ba't wala na ako citation dito? Kasi naisulat ko na siya doon. Sige. Hope that helps, ha? Ito. Balik na tayo sa problem. Pag problem type, essay type questions. Well, essay type naman din lahat ng sinasagutan natin. Ito. Step 1. Paano sumagot ng law school exam or quiz? Pag essay, hello Jane Holly. Kapatid, maraming salamat at tambay ka dito ngayon. Kahit sa mabilisang live stream na to. What's the first step in how to answer? First step, Lee says breathe 2 times. Gail says breathe. Very good. Humihinga tayo ng malalim pampakalma. Kasi pag sumagot tayo agad, dire-diretso, nako, there's a very, very good chance na magtatapon tayo ng kung ano-ano. Baka magtapon tayo ng kung ano-anong mga bagay-bagay pagdating sa ating pagsagot. Teka, bubuksan ko lang yung ano. Hinga ng malalim. Don't panic. Sige. After huminga ng 2 beses, ano ang next step? What's the next step? Dito tama na si Menard. Tama rin si GB. We read the last sentence and then we read the last 2 sentences together. Okay. The last sentence starts here. Rule on the opposition of the owners and licensees of the cemeteries. Sabi nga ni GB, thank you for pointing out the obvious. Yan. Tapos, dito alam na natin ay may opposition. We're being asked. Ultimately, the problem is telling us, asking us, instructing us to rule on the opposition of the owners and the licensees. Ano ba opposition nila? Talaga, Menard? Ginamit mo to? Ay, na-chat mo nga pala ako. Oo, yung pamparam. Can't say it. Yung bagay na masirap sa pakiramdam. Okay. And then, why am I... Bakit ganito ako mag-highlight? Sorry kapatid Medyo nanginginig na ako. I want to eat. Missed dinner for this. They argued that the taking of the 6% of their land is an invalid exercise of police power and that there is jurisprudence to this effect. Rule on the opposition of the owners and licensees of the cemetery. What's the issue here? What is the rule concept doctrine? Excuse me. Rule concept provision doctrine that the examiner is trying to test. Excuse me. What is the rules? Sabi natin sa previous live streams, lahat ng tanong may pinanggagalingan. Rule, concept, provision, doctrine. Alin sa 4 ang tinatanong ng examiner? Wala. Anong tinatanong? Concept po ito. Concept ng ano? Concept. Valid exercise. Police power. In effect, ang issue natin ngayon was whether or not the opposition of the owners and licensees is correct. On the basis of that the taking of the 6% of their land. It's an invalid exercise of police power. Sige. May mas exact pa na case. Very good. Ano yun, Kanoso? Ano kaya ang ma-shoot dito? Ano ba ma-shoot dito? Yan na. Citan nyo ako ng title. Yan yung ako ng title ng kaso. Ayoko na magkalkal ng syllabus eh. Wala. QC versus Ericta. Very good. Okay. Na yung alam na natin ng issue dito is the validity of the exercise of police power. We are being asked to rule on the opposition of the owners and licensees of the cemeteries. Ang next step natin is to now go over the problem and identify action words, keywords, and phrases that can add to the validity or invalidity of the exercise of police power. Yes? Sige. Let's go over the problem. Kami si GB. GB, magbasa ka nga. Kung kapitbahay kita, inabot ko na sa iyo itong mic. Ikaw na muna magbasa. Because of the rising death toll brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, the city government of Iloilo City sought to obtain more spaces in the city to build public columbaria. Ano tong columbaria? Sounds bastos. What is this? What is this? Sounds bastos. What is this? Ano columbaria? Nako, for the 6 people remaining in this stream. Hindi na ako maasa sa mga galing sa bootcamp. Lutang na yung mga yan eh. Wala akong mapipiga sa mga yan. Subini is a baby bunny. Thank you, kapatid. Can you give me your name so I can address you properly? Pinaglalagyan ng ash ay ang urno or urn. Nilalagay sa columbarium, lagayan ng mga urn. Yes. It's a room or building with niches. May mga nicho. Saan natin ilalagay? Mga funeral urns. Okay. Hello, Monique. Oh. Columbaria plural. Ano singular ng columbaria? Columbarium. No plural. Columbariums, columbaria, columbariae. In which to house the urns of the recently deceased. The City Council passed a resolution seeking the immediate expropriation, immediate pa ha, of the 6% of the land area. Pangit. Keywords and phrases. Immediate expropriation of the 6% of the land area in all of the city's cemeteries to build one public columbarium each and appropriating funds therefore. Parang importante itong appropriating funds. Kulayan ko lang. The owners and licensees of the cemeteries banded together and sought to oppose the enforcement of the resolution. They argued that the taking of the 6% of their land area is an invalid exercise of police power and that there is jurisprudence to this effect. Baka tinuturo nila dito QC versus Ericta. Rule on the opposition of the owners and licensees of the cemetery. Sige. Ano sagot natin dito? Tama ba si opposition? Yes or no? Tama ba sila? Bakit yellow din to? Pangit. Siyempre, purple and gold. Kahit na napakababa na standing nila ngayon. Purple and gold pa rin. O ito, tama ba itong opposition nila? Sige, let me rephrase the question. Which of the three fundamental powers was being exercised by the city council? Which of the three fundamental powers was being exercised? Which of the three fundamental powers was being exercised? Hello, Monique K. Maraming salamat. Which of the three? Maraming salamat, Monique K. Thank you at nandito ka. Ryan says police power. Menard says police power. Canoso says police power. Si Silverbirds, bro, anong pangalan mo? Eminent domain. Police power, eminent of the domain, police power, eminent domain pala. Ooh, changing your answer. Canoso also changing his answer. Are you a woman? Sabi nga ni Dean, can you change your answer? Only women can change their answers. See? Mga gender bias ng mga ancients, no? Power of eminent domain. Nagpass ng resolution. May papera pa pala. Power of eminent domain. Jake. Hello, Jake. Jake, I remember you. You're GB's friend. Police power, sabi ni John. Power of eminent domain. Oo, eminent domain pala. Yan. You're changing your answers. Sabi nga ni Dean, only women. Ito, sabi na dun sa council eh. Sabi na sa resolution nila, immediate expropriation by the name itself. Sabi na expropriation eh. Tapos, may appropriating funds therefore pa. May pa-appropriation pa. Sige. Okay. Sige, Maynard. Gender biases ng mga ancient. Monique, thank you ah. May next batch ba? Meron. May next batch ang bootcamp. Law Students Edition. Nang magkakaalaman na. Gusto ko yung mabigyan ako ng magandang laban. Bukas, topic namin ay criminal procedure. Bigyan sana akong magandang laban. Ramdam ko yung mga mabibigyan akong magandang laban. Sige. Oh, let's go to our answer. Very obvious naman. Meron ng immediate expropriation. So, hindi ko alam saan galing itong opposition ng mga owners and licensees. Actually, this is a trap. Kwentuhan ko na kayo. Trap ito, kapatid. This problem is trapping us. Sabi pa, mayroon jurisprudence to this effect. If you're not careful, katulad ng mga unang mga sagot nyo, na police power, hindi nyo na, nalaktawan nyo na itong immediate expropriation at appropriating funds therefore. It's a trap. It's baiting you kasi nga may 6% of the land area. Sounds like erikta, di ba? It's baiting you into answering erikta. Pero erikta is a wrong answer here. Okay. Juvie, Micaela Martinez, first time. Maraming salamat. Thank you for joining us tonight. Okay, let's do the answers. Alam ko, may na kayo dito. Pero sagutin na lang din natin. You begin your answer with this short answer, yes or no, that directly answers what? Rule on the opposition of the owners. So, short answer, this would be your A in alak. No, the opposition of the owners and licensees of the cemeteries in Iloilo City is incorrect. Wow, thank you, IZ. Thank you, kapatid. Ano nakasulat? Sorry, lalapit ako sa monitor ko. Hindi ko siya mabasa. The word above alert. Sorry. I'm almost kissing my monitor pero I For the life of me, I cannot decipher that word. Can you type that? Okay. The opposition. The licensees of the cemeteries in Iloilo City is incorrect. Spoiler alert pala yan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You take care of your eyes, ha? Take care of your eyes. Huwag niyo akong tularan. I don't wear glasses. Is incorrect. Singular. So far, sa mga nagpasa sa quiz ng bootcamp, mali na sila. Kasi dito, the opposition of the owners daw are incorrect. O nga naman, nag-oppose ito at nag-oppose ito. Sounds like there are two oppositions, di ba? Pero, because of the conjunctive and, iisa lang sila, they are treated as one. And this, sabi dito opposition eh, hindi naman oppositions. Sabi lang opposition, singular. Kaya is din. Sagot dito. Sorry nitpicky. Pero, sige. Second paragraph is your L, law, legal basis. Hindi ko nasulat kung alin ang legal basis natin dito. Caudal, cases, or revenue regulation. Nako. Correct natin to. According to, nalalagay natin, decided cases, caudal. Caudal ba to o cases? Please type. Caudal or cases? Caudal or cases? Cases. Anubis nakakatakot isulat yan. In the long line of cases decided by the Supreme Court. Here's why. Una, kapatid, ang haba niyan. Haba ang isulat niyan sa kamay. Pangalawa, pag nag-comment ang professor mo, you're saying, Anubis, that there was a long line cases, kahit isa wala kang maalala. Dangerous para sa akin ang citation na yan. Ganyan siyang binabalik sa akin ni mentor, Attorney Gabriel de la Peña. Shout out sa'yo, sir. Sige. According to decided cases, that would be our citation. So, according to decided cases, power of eminent domain is the power of the government to forcibly take private property. Pwede kang mag-recycle mula sa sagot mo dun sa una. Keywords na hinahanap dito, taking, private property, payment of just compensation, and some public use. Yan. Let's go to the third paragraph. Okay pa to? Am I making sense? Kapatid, hindi pwedeng pumili ng caudal dito. Well, pwede rin. Pero mapapahaba ka ng sagot mo. And then, decided cases dito. Am I making sense? Please type sense. Please type sense if I'm still making sense. Sorry kapatid Medyo ramdam ko na yung gutom at nginig. Wait lang ha. Hydration break. 15 seconds. Wait lang. Uy, Melanie, maraming salamat. Sali ba siya, Bidel? PM mo ko. Mabibigyan ba niya ako ng magandang laban sa Krimpro? Kung siya sasalba sa inyo sa Krimpro, papasukin nyo na. Kung bubuhatin niya kayo bukas. Kapag based sa caudal, ano pwedeng, pero hindi kabisado yung article. Pwede, magandang laban yan. Kapag hindi kabisado ang caudal, hindi mo pwedeng sulat ang under the Civil Code, under the RPC, under the NIRC. Conventional wisdom says pwede na daw yung mga yon. Pero, when you really think about it, when you slow down and think about it, hanggang kahit sa bar, pag ang tanong ay halimbawa sa property at ang sinite mo ay according to the Civil Code, your answer seems to be on a shaky foundation. Here's why. Kapatid, napakahaba ng Civil Code para gawing basis na ganun under the Civil Code. Kung ang tanong sa'yo ay property, I think the more appropriate citation would be according to the law on property. Sapat na daw yan. Under the law on specific subject. Yan, pwede na yan. Sige. Hope that answers that, Regine, ha? Maya na tayo kakain kasi chewing noises plus mic. Parang ang sagwa pakinggan. Hindi naman tayo ASMR na channel. Oo, gustong pumasok nito. Phil-am daw siya. Sige. Kapag ang problem sa property, cite nyo na lang. According to the law on property. Or more appropriately, according to the Civil Code provisions on property. Yan ang turo ng isang sikat na review center. Still works, by the way. Kaso ayokong gamitin yan kasi napakahaba. Pakahaba. According to the Civil Code provisions on, lagay mo yung subject. On credit transactions. Sige. Haba. Sige. Oh! Okay na tayo Let's go for the application. This is a reiteration of the discussion from last Friday. We always begin with in this problem. See, we're identifying, echoing back to the examiner in this problem. Hindi pwedeng in the case at bar. Hindi pwedeng in this case. I don't recommend them. Kasi in this case, what are you arguing? Are you arguing before your RTC? In the case at bar, in the case at bench, what? Are you a judge now? There is plenty of time to write that, kapatid. Still, this is an academic exercise. Sapat na tong in this problem. Hindi mo na kailangan bago-baguhin yan. Kahit ulit-ulitin mo yan in this problem, iisa ang purpose niyan. You're trying to lay down to the examiner na in this problem, I'm gonna show you why I am correct. Sige. In this problem, you lead. Next tip, lead with your strongest argument. There is no exercise of police power. That's your strongest argument. Hindi pwede, hindi valid ang opposition. The opposition is not correct. Walang basihan. Kahit pa ninanakaw nila yung facts ng IRICTA, QCV IRICTA. See, there is no exercise of police power. Napakalinaw sa facts. Very crystal clear. Na nag-expropriate nga sila Nag-allocate pa sila ng funds. The property is being taken here not for confiscation but under expropriation. The intention of the city government is to take 6% of the lands of the cemeteries to build public columbaria. The same resolution also provides for the appropriation of funds for this purpose. In the case at bar, in the instant case, not recommended, kapatid, kasi it's an academic exercise. Ito na, conclusion. That gives you your alak. Conclusion. Sorry. Conclusion, inuulit lang natin yung sa simula. It closes the loop. Closes the loop. Is misplaced. Sige. Problem on hand. Haba. Pwede na yung in this problem. Alak in 4 sentences. Kaya. Pero I'm trying to show you how to use short sentences. The shorter your sentences, kasi kapatid, the stronger your point becomes. Sige. Do we have the consent of any member of the bootcamp na pwedeng ipakita, i-flash sa screen ng kanyang sagot sa number 3? Meron ba? Total lang, maingay na lang dito sa live stream si Mingulyo. Mingulyo, do you have your... May I, Mingulyo, respectfully share your answer sa live stream? Yes, no? Siyempre, Bidel, alay eh. Ano, hintayin natin siya. Hindi ko naman tinatanong kung maganda o pangit. Di ko pa nakikita. Baka wrong grammar. Let's see an example of a bad answer. How not to answer naman tayo. Ano? Mingulyo, do we have your consent? Do we have your consent? Yatap. Ano ba, napaka-unresponsive? Dami pa sasabihin. Ayaw talaga ako maghapunan nitong Bidel eh, no? Wala. Okay. Gay attorney. Hindi, yoko. Pre, kakaya naman pinangalanan kita eh, tapos yung sagot mo pangit. Oh, show you another example of pangit. Teka, basahin ko muna yung sagot niya. Mali pa yung pagka-label ng ano, ha? Sige, mali-mali pa ang label ng file name. Mali-mali ang label. Ay, hindi natin pwedeng ipakita yung sagot ni Mingulyo. Wag. Wag sa kanya. Wag na siya. Ako na magpo-point out, kapatid. Wag na yung sagot ni Mingulyo. Una, pangit sulat niya eh. Hindi... Pangit sulat niya. Pangalawa, sagot niya. Di sagot Bidel. Sagot lang di nagbasa to. Tapos may disclaimer pa. I really don't know. Sad face. Oy, harsh daw. Hindi naman. I'm not gonna show you this. I will not dishonor Mingulyo. Kasi her handwriting is horrible. It will make your eyes bleed. Unseeable. Sapat na na ako ang sumakit ng mata. Sige. Okay na tayo, kapatid, ha? Pagsagot. Questions ba? If okay na kayo, let's type clear. Please type clear sa chat kung okay na kayo. Please type clear. Yes, thank you. Thank you sa mga nag-type ng clear. at clear sa inyo ang discussion. Alright. Sige. Maraming salamat. Siyempre, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Let's do questions. Handwritten, oo naman. Handwritten ang quiz sa bootcamp. Akala nyo sa akin, payag ng typewritten? Baka may kinaka-copy-paste na kayo. At least dyan mag-effort kayo magsulat ng kamay. Sige. Questions. Parang may mga nakita akong interesanting mga tanong kanina. Yes, thank you. Thank you at marami kayong natutunan. Although, siguro, iba sa inyo, hindi na to bago. Pero, pagdating kasi sa pagsagot, ito ha, kunwari na lang tinanong nyo sa akin, paano po kami mag-i-improve sa pagsagot? Paano mag-i-improve? I think pagdating sa pagsagot, you have to put your reps in. Isa pa. You have to put your reps in. What does this mean? It means that the more you answer, the better you'll get. The more you answer, the better you get. It's just like hindi ko pwedeng sabihin on a live stream. Pero ganito yan. The more problems you encounter, the faster you get. Pagdating sa breathing, identifying reading the last two sentences together, and then identifying the immediate issue. And then looking out. For the immediate issue. The more problems you actually encounter, the more na naiintindihan nyo yung rule, concept, provision, or doctrine. Oo, Kanoso, hindi ko kasi pwedeng sabihin yung linya na yan eh. Sayang. Thank you for captioning my struggle. The faster you get when it comes to identifying yung immediate issue and identifying the rule, concept, provision, doctrine. Apat lang yan that the examiner is trying to test. Sige. Here's one question for you, kapatid. Kung sa inyo itinanong ang quiz na ito, would you have arrived at the same answers? Yes, no, maybe. Pareho ba tayo ng sagot? Kung sinagutan nyo to at hindi nyo ako naririnig in the background, on the background. Would you have arrived at the same answers? Habang hinihintay ko ang inyong mga sagot dito, sasagot ako sa mga earlier questions. Saan pwedeng makakuha ng practice problems? Marami tayo niyan sa ating one-on-one coaching and mentoring program. Regine, link sa description box. Ang mga barista refresher retakers na aming pinapapasok sa one-on-one coaching and mentoring program, sila ay bugbog na bugbog sa mga practice problems. Lang oras kami, puro yan lang ang ginagawa. Ulit-ulit lang tayo. Yes, Kanoso, di ko talaga masabi. Applicable po ba ito sa mga cases na dinadigest, the last two sentences? Iba ang steps natin ng paggawa ng digest. Sana mabalikan mo yung live streams and the episode on kinds of case digest. Hope that helps, Jedediah at kay Regine. Thank you for your questions. Grabe midterms kanina, ang hirap pala. Appear. Dadalawa kasi atake sa StatCon. Either madaling-madali o mahirap na mahirap. Paano mag-identify ng tamang sagot sa MCQ? Mahirap ituro ito. Kasi kailangan mo nang makita kung ano yung MCQ. Pero kadalasan sa MCQ, At makikita nyo rin ito sa MCQ ng Intro to Persons, yung ating ongoing series sa persons. MCQ at MCQ lang din ang kadalasan kong tinatanong doon. Sa MCQ, you're being asked, always being asked, to choose the best answer. Best answer. Kung 4 ang choices, 3 ang mukhang tama, there's going to be a best answer there. Okay? Kung 3 ang choices, dadalawa lang ang tama, there's going to be a better answer there. Paano ma-identify ang better answer? That's something else to think about. Sige. Sana makatulong, Victor, ha? Salamat. Regine says no. Ryan says no po. Hindi ko ba kayo mag-a-arrive sa ano? Hindi ba kayo mag-a-arrive na no sa sagot ng Ericta? Ay, dun sa ano? Expropriation. I think makaka-landing naman kayo ng parehong sagot. Iba approach. Yes, thank you. Menard says, di po siguro ganun kasing elegante. Si Jedediah asks a question, kapatid, i-refer kita sa live stream kung paano mag-spot ng issue pagdating sa mga kaso. Yes, but not with the same clarity. So far, 3 people have the confidence to say na they will arrive at the same answer. Sige. Ito ang dilemma ko ngayon. Yes po, pero ayan, pang-4. Thank you, Gail. Yes po, pero kulang po masasagot. Yan. Post natin yung comment mo, Monique. Si kasabi-sabi nga siya. No. Thank you for answering. Di kahon po ang MCQ. Paano ba? Kasi alam mo niya naman, kapatid, ang prinsipyo natin sa buhay, no student left behind. Kung 4 pa lang kayong confident na makakasagot who will arrive at the same answer, pero hindi elegante ang sagot, then there's probably a big problem with my teaching methodology. Melanie says, na-spot yung issue ng police power pero hindi clarified yung answer. Sige. How can we improve as a group, as a unit, as a community? I know it's a tough question pero I hope you guys can help me answer. Kasi it will help me help you and help others more now and in the future. Sarap sinasabi nun. How can we improve as a unit, as a community? 4 pa lang tayong confident na we will arrive at the same answer pero hindi elegante. Alam kong sagutin yung paano maging elegante. Matuturo ko sa inyo paano sumagot ng elegante. Pero hirap ako kung hindi pa tayo pare-parehong nandun. Shoutout syempre sa mga nasa law school bootcamp ngayon. Kahit sige, sasakit ulo ko sa kakasagot ng mga quizzes, kakagrade ng mga quizzes nyo, okay lang. Maraming salamat sa inyong participation. Kasi itong law school bootcamp na to, we started this project for the benefit of, in part, for the benefit of one of the biggest charities we support para sa ating outreach program next month. So, thank you. Thank you for joining. Kailang kahit pangit ng sagot, kahit pangit yung sulat. Hanap na gradean ko pa rin yan. Yeah. Practice, sabi ni Maynard. Practice answering more questions. That's something we cover sa coaching. More compounded questions. Thank you. Thank you for that suggestion, Mr. Canoso. Kasi ito namang mga tanong dito, they were lifted from the quiz kanina sa bootcamp. Sige. Take all of your suggestions in mind. Maraming salamat. Thank you all for joining me for tonight's stream. Thank you for the gift of your time. That being said, good night. Thank you.